Welcome to Reimagine, Session 2, Creating and Owning a Winning Self-Image. I am so grateful to be here with you guys today to help you reimagine your life, your business, and yourself. So, quick recap from yesterday. I shared a little bit about my story of how I kept hitting my own unconscious glass ceiling, how I had an income barrier that I had a hard time breaking, how every time I would almost get something or have it, it would be taken away. Something would happen to remove it from my life. And we talked about why that happens. It's because we have an unconscious mind with a blueprint, a belief system in there that tells us what we can and cannot do, that was given to us via the model of the world that we grew up in. So all the information that was happening around you before the age of 7, it came in and it is now a blueprint. All the information that you are gathering today, the 11 million bits of information per second, it comes in and it gets filtered about 100 bits of information consciously. And the other 11 million bits of information per second unconsciously. And so we now understand that all the information that's coming in, we're actually is being deleted, distorted, and generalized through our unconscious blueprint. And so that's why when you go to get something over and over again and it doesn't seem to happen, it's because unfortunately, unconsciously, you don't believe it's possible for you. Unconsciously, you have a belief that you're not good enough, it's too hard, it won't work, you can't do it, you're unlovable, whatever the beliefs are. And they're keeping us safe and the same. And this masterclass is all about reimagining, beginning to create a new vision for you, your life, your future, your business, and to reimagine you. And what we're using throughout this masterclass is a tool called auto-suggestion, the spaced repetition of an idea or thought over time. And yesterday, your homework was to reimagine the next 3 years, to envision it, to consciously co-create what you want. So if I were to ask you, if I waved a magic wand and said you could be, do, or have whatever it is that you truly desire, what would that be? And your homework was to journal. Start with that legacy. Now, we're actually leaving our legacy with every interaction that we have. So you're doing it right now. Amazing. And the legacy that I'm talking about is your big, hairy, audacious goal, your North Star, the thing that's going to guide you, the thing that's going to keep you inspired and motivated and also act like a guiding light. So any opportunity, any person, any action, any thought, any belief now going forward, we are going to ask us, is it going to get us closer to that big, hairy, audacious goal or move us farther away from it? If the answer is closer, yes, do it. Put it in your calendar, become it, think about it, act on it. And if it's not going to get you closer to that goal, we want to cancel it. No is a full answer. No need to validate or give a reason why. Just no, thank you. And then we move along. And this is super important to have this new filter, this new guiding light for you to have so that you can start to begin to unconsciously filter the information coming in that's going to move you closer towards this big, hairy, audacious goal, or what we like to call your BHAG, instead of moving you farther away. So you have your reticular activation system. It's part of the unconscious mind. It works like the filter. So it's deleting, distorting, and generalizing information coming in. So if our mind is constantly on how it's not going to work, our current circumstances, our past circumstances, the information coming in is going to get filtered. It's going to delete anything that's not in alignment where your thoughts and focus are. So now we have a different focus. We have a new reimagined possibility for us. And with that new reimagined possibility, it's going to start to filter the information coming in that's going to move you closer towards it. The simplest example I can give for this is the basketball awareness test. Now, if you've been to our events, we've shared it before, we've talked about it before, and I still think it's one of the coolest things ever. So there's two teams, one in white shirts and one in black shirts, and you're asked to count how many passes the white team does. We did this in our human potential performance class. And our teacher was like, okay, how many passes did they do? People are yelling 11, 12, 13. And then he continues the video and it goes, but did you see the moon walking bear? There is a man, a full-size human in a bear costume, moonwalking through the basketball game. Yet, because your focus isn't there, your brain actually deletes it. So there was something there and you visually saw it, yet your brain deleted the information because it's not where your focus and your energy was. I even showed this to my brother once, and he said, "You're lying. Rewind the video." And he needed to make sure the bear was there the whole time, not just added in the replay. And his mind was blown. And this is happening to us all day, every day. So, in order to begin to reimagine, we have to get into that state of possibility and begin to allow ourselves to dream, to believe, to start to really think about new things that are going to excite us. And now we're going to have our brain start to work for us because this is where our focus is going to be. We're going to cancel anything else that's not going to move us closer towards this goal. And we're going to keep our energy focused on it. So how did the homework go yesterday? I bet many of you didn't do it, and that's okay. Or maybe many of you started and didn't finish, and maybe some of you did it. Some of our old belief systems would love us to stay safe and the same, and would love for you not to fill out that workbook. And the truth is, all I'm asking you to do is dream. All I'm asking you to do is journal. Just simply start to journal. Where do you want to be 3 years from now? What do you want your health to be like? What do you want your relationships, your business, your finances, your vacations, your time off, your travels, that environment around you? What is it that would fill you up? So if I could wave a magic wand and said you could be, do, or have whatever it is you truly desire, 3 years from now, what would you like? And then we begin to reverse engineer. What about 2 years from now? Then where will we be? And then what about 1 year from now? 6 months from now? And I said, and even if you want, you could do 90 days from now. And the idea with this is you're just starting to open up possibilities. And when you can keep that BHAG, that big, hairy, audacious goal in mind, and start with the end in mind, we can begin to reverse engineer and reimagine a new possibility, a new future, a new version of us, a new version of our business, a new version of our life that actually is going to create more fulfillment and more flow and more joy. If we keep going the way we are and we don't reimagine, we don't set new goals, we don't change the unconscious mind and programming, we don't change where our focus goes, we're going to get the same. So 98% of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are unconscious and habitual. And that means we stay in unconscious patterns and loops and we get the same thing over and over again. And today we're going to talk about building that winning self-image and psycho-cybernetics, which I think is one of the coolest thoughts and philosophies. So really great book if you want to check it out. The gentleman who wrote the book, he was a plastic surgeon. And he didn't understand why one person could come in and get one surgery and their entire life would change. And somebody else would come in and they'd be on surgery number 20 and they still didn't love themselves yet. And nothing was changing for them. So begin to research the unconscious mind and thoughts. And what they discovered is not only do we have beliefs about what's possible for us, in the unconscious mind, we actually have an image, a self-image of who you are, what you're capable of being, what you're meant to look like, all the things that you believe are possible for you and also not possible for you. So I love the saying, what lies are you telling yourself? The what's not possible for you are the lies we're telling ourselves. When the matter of fact is, anything and everything is possible. We just have to begin to start to change that programming. And so today we're going to begin to rewrite that self-image. And it's super, super fun to do. At first, we need to set the goal, the new possibility. And that's what we did yesterday. And then today I'm going to ask you, who is that new version of you with that goal achieved? How are they showing up? How do they think? How do they act? Who do they hang out with? What do they look like? What do they dress like? When do they get up? When do they go to sleep? How do they show up on a daily basis? What is their business? Do they have a team? Are they keeping it super lean? Are they building an empire? What is that next version of you with your goal achieved? Reminder, I said yesterday, you got yourself here, amazing. And the current version of you is not going to get you there to your new goals because our thoughts are habitual and unconscious, and so are our actions, and so are our beliefs. So the current operating system you have got you here, amazing. And we need to rewrite the operating system so we can get to where we're going, that new, big, hairy, audacious goal. And so we talked about the putrefaction or transformation process yesterday. So you are here on one side and you want to go over here and get this new goal and dream. And when you go to get it, you enter a new transformation process where you need to begin to work on you. What new thoughts would this new version of you with your goal achieve have? What new beliefs, what new actions, what new environment? And you're really going to begin to reimagine the new version of you. The old version of you is going to break down so that you can come out on the other side with the capacity to achieve, sustain, and go beyond that goal that you desire. Now, on the one side of where you currently are is where most people will want to go back to. So you decided on your goal, you jumped into the transformation process. Welcome. 80% of the population will give up and go back if they even dared to dream and jump into the transformation process. Most will go back to where they were. And this is where the dis-ease sets in. No fun there. So we want to do what is required to come out on the other side. And so let's talk about what has people keep going back instead of moving forward. It's that psycho-cybernetics. And so I want you to think about a plane. It has a cybernetic operating system in it that helps it get to its destination. So if you took off from Toronto in a plane, it is off course 98% of the time and making slight micro adjustments to move it back so it arrives at its destination. So imagine you take off, you're the plane, and your unconscious belief system, your operating system, the first part where you currently are, this is a set point, and you actually want to go to a new set point. So every time you take off and you're trying to go to the new set point, maybe to Florida instead of Hawaii or whatever that set point is, you take off and it looks like you're going to get there. You're going to get to Florida and you're on your way and you're super excited. And yet somehow you always end back up at Hawaii. So let me say that again. You're currently taking off from one place and you want to go to point B. And it looks like you might even get there. And yet somehow you always end up back at point A. So currently where you are, and you're taking off to go to a new state, and instead you keep ending up at the same state. It's because of that unconscious mind. Its job is to keep you safe and the same. And so it might look like we're going to get the goal, and yet we always seem to come back to the same results, maybe a little bit better over and over again. And that's because of that self-image, what I like to call our unconscious glass ceiling. So you go get the goal, you're super excited, you enter the transformation tornado, you think you're going to get there, and somehow you end up back to where you were. And this is where the unconscious work is going to be required. Because if the unconscious mind is running the show and the unconscious mind is getting you your results, then we actually have to begin to work with the unconscious mind to create new results. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So we need to do things differently. So have you ever paused and thought about what that version of you would be with your goal achieved? And maybe you have. And yet, here's one thing that most people do and why it doesn't work is because they think about the goal from a state of lack. And I'm pausing here because I really want you to get this. This is super important. This is what most people do. They're like, well, I think about my goal all the time, but you're thinking about where is it? Why am I not there yet? Am I good enough to have it? It's going to be hard. And you're thinking about all the negative components of it. And instead, we need to think about the goal from the state of the goal achieved. And you have to embody it to become it. So Louise Hay is one of my favorite New Thought leaders. God bless her soul, she's passed. She was way ahead of her time. And I listened to a recording from her this morning, which I thought was super interesting. And she was talking about this concept exactly, how most people think about their goal from the state of seeking and lack. Like, where is it? Why isn't it here yet? Instead of, how would that version of you be? So she gives this really neat exercise. So I want you to pause and ask yourself, what would $5 million do for you? What would $50 million do for you? How many more people could you help? How much more could you expand your business? How much more could you take care of your family and your community? If you're a good person, you're just going to do more good in the world with more money. And I want you to begin to pause and actually close your eyes for a second. And I want you to imagine I gave you $50 million. And close your eyes because I want you to see this. I want you to really, really see this and just be it for a moment. You're now out shopping. How does this new version of you behave? How do you purchase things? What do you feel like? How much gratitude are you feeling to be able to purchase what you want, when you want? How is that version of you moving through the store? What are you buying? How are you showing up? What's that peace of mind and expectancy that you have, where you simply expect the money to come and show up and always be there just the way the air is for you to breathe? I want you to feel that for a second, because there's literally more money on the planet right now than there ever has been. And we have access to it. We've just been keeping it from us. And so what does that feel like for you? To be able to expect the money to be there for you always, just the way that air is there for you to breathe. Does that feel a little bit different for you? And I want you to start to think about your goal and that you are achieving it. It can happen. It is happening. And that you actually expect it to happen, just as you expect the air to be there for you on your next breath, on your next inhale, just the way the next client will, the next team member, the next version of you, the next version of your business, the next goal, the next car, the next vacation, whatever it is that you truly desire. And I want you to pause and think, you don't really think about the air. And now I want you to pause and think about your goal for a second with that same kind of expectancy. Does that feel different? How different does that state feel for you? To expect your goal, the money, the health, the trips, the team, the business, the clients, the same way you expect your next inhale to be there. I want you to bring that expectancy to your goal and begin to get into the state of the goal achieved. And that's really, really good. Now I want you to give that feeling a name. How does that feel for you? What does that feel like? And I want you to feel that through every single cell, every atom, every molecule, every electron, right through you, all the way through you. That's really, really good. And whenever you're ready, I want you to come on back, open your eyes, and bring that feeling with you. Good, really, really good. So now this is about being in the state of the goal achieved versus seeking the goal. Do we feel the difference now? And I hope you did get emotional about it. I hope you really, really, really felt it, because that is the magic. The feeling is the secret. Great book, by the way. And so now I want you to have that feeling and that expectancy about your goals and that new version of you. They say if you can think about it, that's the first time you manifested it into the ether. And now we want to bring it into the physical. So how do we bring it out of the mind and out of the energy into the physical? We begin to show up as that version of us with the goal achieved, to embody it, to become it. And why this principle is also so, so important is because if you expect it, you'll be prepared for it. You'll actually start preparing the actions, the habits, the containers in your calendar, the environment, the people. You'll start preparing for it, and it will actually show up and work out for you. If we are not in the state of the goal achieved, we're in a state of lacking and seeking it, which means we're not expecting it, which means we're not going to prepare for it. And in fact, we will often even miss opportunities that could have got us there because of where our focus was, and that our brain deleted, distorted, or generalized that information coming in and said, not important. They haven't decided on their goal. That's not where their thoughts and feelings are, so don't even tell them about it. And so wouldn't it be amazing to actually have your brain work for you and with you instead of against you? And maybe you knew this already and maybe you didn't know. We don't know what we don't know until we learn it, and then we can grow. And so I want you to take this feeling with you through the rest of the masterclass. Tomorrow, we're going to get into action, and we're going to talk about building our dream schedule and actually preparing in the physical to create that big, hairy, audacious goal, to create that reverse engineered future diary, to create that new self-image and step into it. And first, we're going to dive into the workbook from today, and we're going to talk about how we can do this and set ourselves up. So a reminder, you must design the new you with the goal achieved and build a new model of the world for you to pull from. You're going to look at your current results, and this is going to tell you where your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions have been previously. And this is going to show you where you need to change your focus and your energy. So the first thing in day 2 is to look at what is your current operating system telling you. That's that blueprint we talked about that is not working for you. We must first identify the current state and what we like to call the contrast. And so this is going to tell us where our thoughts, feelings, actions, and current operating system have been in the past. And if we don't begin to change it, we're going to get more of the same, maybe a little bit better. Remember, off course 98% of the time looks like you're going to get there, and yet somehow you always end up at the same place or slightly better. Definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So this might seem like woohoo work, and it's actually neuroscience, and it's the working smarter instead of harder. It's the slowing down to do the journaling so you can speed up your results. And wouldn't that be so much more fun? So let's identify the current state. What are some of the thoughts that are not working for you? What are some of the feelings that are not working for you? What are some of the actions or habits that are not working for you? What are some of the results that we have created in our life that are not working for us? Identify it, because then this shows us where the change can happen. The next part of that is, so now we've identified current state that's not working. We want to identify a future state that we would prefer. So you're going to write the opposite. What would you prefer? So if there's currently not enough sales in the business, you would prefer more sales with your ideal client. If the current state is not as healthy or in the best shape that you'd want to be, future state, I'm my ideal body weight and I am perfect health. Now, I want you to remember when we're writing the preferred statements, these are new affirmations. These are going to be new commands that you give to yourself. And they always need to be in present tense and positive tense. So we must always speak to what it is that we desire, not what we do not desire. So the contrast would be lack of money or debt. What you would prefer is the financial freedom and abundance and independence. Okay, so we speak to what we desire, identifying the contrast. That's okay if you say what you don't like. That's what we're looking at. And we only entertain it for a little bit of time. So then we can decide what we prefer. So now from this new energy and feeling that we just created, what would you prefer? What are some of the new affirmations for yourself? And remember, you can look at all areas of your life in your business. So in business, we've got operations and management, development and research, sales and serving, and marketing and branding. In our life, we have our health, we have our relationships, we've got finances, you've got money in the business as well, right? So finances, your environment, your home, your vacations, your travel, your time off, people you surround yourself with. Start to look at all areas of your life and your business. And I want you to start to reimagine new states of possibility. Everything that was ever created and ever will be created is from a state of possibility. People who get what they want, it's because they actually expect it, which means they're in a state of possibility. They believe in something and they expect it. So I want you to begin to expect it. Now, as you're writing the current and past states, the current and future states, excuse me, or past and current, which would be your contrast, and then your future state, what you prefer, I want you to really start to think about yourself. Think about that self-image that you currently have about yourself. Are you always on time, organized, and prepared? Are you always in a state of gratitude and abundance and possibility? Are you always in the energy of service and leaving people with an impression of increase and leaving that legacy with every interaction? What does that current version of you look like? And what is the new preferred version? How is that new version of you showing up with your goal achieved? Are you showing up as a leader? As a conscious leader? Are you showing up? My affirmation is I'm cool, calm, collected, courageous, kind, confident, and always in the flow. Now, how did I create that? I looked at what wasn't working. I decided what I would prefer, and I made a new self-image affirmation. That's available to you right now. Now, currently in the past, we've been auto-suggesting all the things that are contrasted. It's hard, it doesn't work, it's not enough, cancel, 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 all those negative things. And now we want to start to give new commands, new affirmations, auto suggest to ourselves new possibilities. And these things that you're writing down that you would prefer, I want you to read them, write them, say them, record them, listen to them. This is the new you that you are consciously co-creating instead of being the version of you that you were conditioned to be by the model of the world that you grew up in. Again, you're amazing just the way you are, and it's awesome. And we want to go somewhere else and get something new, and it's going to require a new you. So you're perfect, wholly complete, just as you are. You're worthy of all that you desire right now, just as you are. And we just need to begin to embody it, expect it, and act as if. And so now you have your current state and your now designed future state with new affirmations about yourself, your life, and your business that you're going to begin to use over and over again to auto suggest to yourself. Super fun, super easy. As they say, really easy to do, also really easy not to do. You get to choose. Your unconscious mind would love you not to do it and stay the same because that's safe to it. Or we could get comfortable being uncomfortable and we can begin to step into that new model of the world that we're developing that's truly going to leave us happy and fulfilled. Now, if you don't have a model of the world to pull from, so this is what I hear from a lot of people, like I've reached my glass ceiling. I might have even accomplished everything I already have, thought I could. My glass ceiling was stupid low. And I accomplished my first, what I thought was possible for me, which when I was younger seemed like such a big goal. By the time I was in like my mid 20s or late 20s, already accomplished it, all done. Then what? Right? I found Landmark. It's an NLP based practice, and it introduced me to things like this and changed my life. And I started to design a whole new glass ceiling. And now we're smashed through that. And now guess what? Whole new glass ceiling, all because I keep reimagining and reinventing myself and reinventing my business and my life. And you can do this over and over and over again. And in fact, I hope you do, because they say that something is either growing or dying. Nothing ever stays the same. And so may you keep growing instead of slowly dying inside. And so now let's redesign a new you by building a new model of the world for you to pull from. I was working with someone recently and we were talking about building the new self-image. They've accomplished everything that they thought would be possible for them, and they're only 40. So now, they're like, now what? You know, I have almost a $500,000 business. Everything's paid for. I have a beautiful practice. Everything is going well. This person's got what they thought was their absolute glass ceiling, and they're going to potentially live another 40 years. So now what? It's time to reimagine. And the thing was, when we went to reimagine, there was no new model of the world for her to pull from to be able to reimagine. So you need to create it. And so on page 12 is the questions to help you to begin to recreate it. So I want you to ask yourself, who are 3 people you wish to emulate and why? So look at the things that you said you would prefer. Who are people who already have that, who've already created that, who've already done that? They could be dead or alive. And I want you to pick 3 people. And I want you to pick why you want to emulate. So what do you want to emulate about them, and why do you want to emulate that? So there's another coach that I like to follow online, and she's amazing. And she built $1 million business. And one of her key signature things is events, in-person events on her estate that she just bought. And she gets to run her incredible events from it and do VIP days with clients and to have peace in nature. And it's something I always wanted. And now I can actually envision it because she's given me pictures to do so. Your mind thinks in pictures and it comes to pass. Our environment is but our looking glass, which means, excuse me, if we look at our current results, it tells us what pictures we've been holding in our mind in the past. And I want you to pick new pictures. And so pause, and I want you to fill that out and think about it. I love to look at Bob Proctor. He did in-person events. He built a massive coaching company. He's built a huge legacy that lives on without him as he's passed away. There are still consultants all over the world teaching his work, changing lives. And so for me, one of the things I loved most about him is how humble he was, but also the legacy that he left. They say you truly die when the last time someone mentions your name. It's a line from a song, but it gets me every time. So how can your legacy live on beyond you? And yes, I said your legacy you're leaving with every interaction that you have, but how can that keep going when you're gone? And that's what I think about. Maybe people don't think about that. That's what I think about. And so I would write Bob Proctor down, humble and legacy leaving. Then I love to look at Kelly Roach. She's been my business coach for almost half a decade. And I absolutely love how humble she is, but also probably one of the hardest working people I've ever met. She walks the talk. She shows up. She does the work. And she does it all in the energy of service. There seems to be a theme here. Serve, serve, serve. And the thing is, I want you to actually pause today and go and look at these people. Look at the pictures of them, their life, their legacies. I'm going to look at the events. I actually pulled out Bob Proctor's, I had it printed and bound at Staples, The Paradigm Shift. Was one of my favorite master classes he used to teach. And it is an inch thick book. And that changed my life. I did that multiple times. I would love to be able to leave something like that behind and be able to change people's life by explaining to them how they can take the reins of their life, reimagine their life, and be the author of their life and their destiny instead of living by default and conditioning. I'm going to look at pictures of that girl's estate. And I'm going to think about all the events that I can run there. I'm going to look at the pictures of Kelly Roach and her team and the future team and empire and legacy that I've built. And so what new pictures can you begin to reimagine? And I want you to then see yourself in that picture. Is this making sense? We need to actually have a new model of the world to pull from and a new self-image to step into. So then nothing happens without action. So of course, the next question is, how can you be more like this today to embody the new version of you? Well, and this we'll talk about tomorrow, but I'll just give a simple example. So I want to have a 3-day retreat or a 3-day event, whether it's in person, online. Definitely want to have a version in person. Is it going to be a retreat where people stay over? I'm not sure. Is it going to be a 3-day event? Haven't fully designed it yet. Might be both. And in order to do that, I'm going to do a first version of it, a reverse engineer to a 1-day in-person event. And then in order to do that, we're actually going to launch the plane in the air. This is a simplified version of the Reimagine retreat that will be to come. This is it. You're here with us right now. So how could I begin to embody it to become it? Well, first we have to make the masterclass. We have to make the event, start to teach it, get comfortable. I've been teaching this information for years now, and so quite comfortable, but teaching it in this new way, a lot more gentle, and maybe teach a little bit more on the masculine, like get shit done. Here, we're going to begin to reimagine, work with the feminine divine energy, work with the unconscious mind, and then we can go and get into action. So this is a slowing down to speed up. And you might even think about how you walk, how you stand today, how you interact with others. I mean, if all your needs and desires were always met before you even asked, would you show up a lot more peacefully this year? Today, how would that new version of you show up? So I want you to write down the different ways you're going to begin to show up like that new version of you now and begin to embody it to become it. You're more giving, you're more peaceful, you're more resilient, more patient, more grateful, more happy. And how does that version of you show up today? Maybe they open the doors differently. Maybe you sit down differently. Maybe the old version of you is always rushing through life, which is literally lack, telling the world there's not enough time. Maybe that's a limiting belief. What would you prefer? To everything to always be perfect, smooth, and easy and peaceful. So how can you move more peacefully today instead of in a rush? So now as you begin to pull this all together, your next step in the homework is to actually create at least a 1-page. You can do it longer if you want, or even a paragraph. Just do it. Create something, a self-image script. I actually was talking to somebody today who I used to study in Bob's programs with and in Kelly's programs. We're in their programs together now. And she was saying she used ChatGPT. So she plugged in prompts and it helped her write a new self-image script. I thought, wow, that's super cool. I don't really use the tool. We were just trained on how to use it to have it automate us a new LinkedIn profile that is conversion worthy. And you could even use it for this if you want. Plug in some prompts. Show it. You could actually show it. Like, here's this person's website. Here's this picture of this person. Here's some copy from this person. Write me a new self-image script that embodies these 3 key characters. Go for it. Have some fun with it. Or what I would actually recommend is let it to be a divine download. Go and do something to raise your vibes, to get your nervous system relaxed, to get you happy and enjoy in a state of possibility. And then I just want you to sit down and begin to journal. Who is that new version of you? How are you showing up? And so far we created a future diary, which is writing how everything is going perfectly over the next 3 years. And then the next step is to write the self-image script. Who is the version of you with that goal achieved, and how are you showing up? And that is your homework for today. So let's create new beliefs, new operating systems, decide what you would prefer, and begin to consciously co-create your destiny and your future. Instead of living by default, let's live by design. And so who's that new CEO version of you owning your business? How are they showing up? And now, of course, we teach this so much more in depth and more inside our Success Principles Society, which is an incredible self-study course with a mastermind that you're going to get as a sign-up bonus, along with more with the Rapid Breakthrough. So I'm going to tell you about this incredible opportunity and gift that I have for you guys today. And if you feel like you've got all that you need from today, awesome. Come back tomorrow. Let's build out that dream schedule. Let's own it and start to truly embody it to become it and be prepared because we expect it. So make sure you come back tomorrow. The masterclass is not complete unless we start to actually bring it into our everyday life and prepare for what we expect. And of course, we're expecting the best. And if you're ready to take it to the next level and truly begin to start changing your unconscious mind and have fear, worry, doubt, all the negative emotions, sadness, guilt, shame, rage, all these negative emotions that are keeping you stuck in the safe in the same, maybe not feeling safe though, we want to not get rid of them. If a bear were chasing you, I would want you to be scared and I want you to run. We want to remove how they're blocking you and have you stuck and stopped. And so let's begin to work with the unconscious mind. I would love to invite you to come and work with me with a rapid breakthrough. So some people think breakthrough, that sounds crazy and hard. The truth is, with the rapid breakthrough, what we use is timeline therapy. It's actually one of the easiest and simplest tools to change the programming in your unconscious mind. So everything that's ever happened to you, this life, passed down genealogically, we know scientifically they have proven that you hold at least 8 generations of trauma, beliefs, limiting decisions in your DNA. Scientifically proven. So why do you want your great grandma's trauma holding you back in this lifetime? Why do you want a decision that you made when you were 5 or 7 holding you back for the rest of your life? It's time to change what's happening in the unconscious mind internally so the external can begin to shift and change. And so with this rapid breakthrough, we actually do a 60-minute vision casting call where we're going to dive into what it is that you truly desire. And we're going to set you up with our self-study success principles lessons. And then we're going to do a rapid breakthrough with the timeline therapy, clearing your negative emotions, getting you unstuck, and clearing your top limiting belief that has you getting more and more of the same. And then we're going to do a follow-up with integration. And there's a bonus sign-up call for you guys for us to be able to clear another limiting belief or 2 that may have you stuck. And so you're like, well, that sounds hard or sounds easy or it sounds confusing. None of it actually matters. The how we do it doesn't actually matter. What matters is the results we're going to help you get. So this is scientifically proven to change your neurology in 3 to 5 days. We're literally birthing a new version of you. I would say my favorite part, absolute favorite part of doing the rapid breakthroughs with clients is literally seeing them step into and embody that next level version of them. Doing what they said they were going to do, building the next version of their business, building the next version of their life, building the next version of their relationships, of their health, and everything and more. It's 100% possible for you now. You just have to be willing to go through the transformation. And that's why we give you 3 months access to Success Principles Society. So you can mastermind with us twice a month and get support and self-study our 6 core self-mastery lessons. And these are super important so we can actually begin to integrate the transformation so that it can last a lifetime and help you build the foundation and the framework and the basics. All successful people, whether it's in business, it's in sports, they always go back and they practice and master the basics, because the basics is the foundation of the pyramid. How can you get and build the top of the pyramid if the bottom is not stable? And so these self-mastery tools, you can rinse and repeat and do them over and over again. You're going to build a new version of you. You're going to build out that dream calendar. You're going to use the Quantum Leap blueprint to design this year and beyond, and actually reverse engineer it and put the containers in your calendar so you can actually achieve more in less time with less effort. And I've seen every single client who uses the Quantum Leap blueprint do it. As long as they use it, it's like a magic. It might take a few hours to do, and isn't that better than having your results take twice as long? So it's the slowing down to speed up. So we're not only going to transform your unconscious mind, switch your negative emotions and unlock them and release them, switch those decisions you made before the age of 7 that have you stuck in getting the same over and over again. And we're going to switch the limiting belief that has you really living the same story over and over again in many different ways. And then you're going to have the Success Principle Society to support you, because community is so important as we go through the transformation process. No successful person did it alone, and it is so much better with community who are also going through that transformation process with you. Isn't it so much better when you can connect and relate to other people? So that's why we have that mastermind for support and our self-study course. And so I actually would love to show you the incredible bonuses that we have for you guys set up for this month. And anybody who's purchased in the last month, they're going to get the special event sign-up bonus. So you're welcome. If this is the first time you're hearing, I've reached out, but maybe you didn't see it. This is going to be my gift to you. So change your beliefs, change your life. Welcome to your rapid breakthrough. And so the rapid breakthrough pay in full is only $1,487, or you can do it on the payment plan of $497 per month. And this is Canadian, taxes all in. And so that's 3 payments of $497 per month. Guys, the value you're going to get, the results that you're going to get, the price is nominal, like minimal compared to the results that you're actually going to create and get. And the magic in changing your unconscious mind, change your beliefs, will and can truly change your life. And so to ensure your success, instead of just doing a 2-hour timeline therapy session, we want to actually hold your hand and walk you through this transformation process. So we're going to have that 60-minute onboarding vision casting call, the 2-hour timeline therapy session, 45-minute support call with your next steps. Plus, there's going to be a bonus sign-up call. So look at this. You're going to get the Success Principle Society for 3 months as well. So this is the Own Your Vision, Own Your Goal, Own Your Mind, Own Your Winning Self-Image, Own Your High Performance Habits, and Own Your Holistic Wellness. Plus a vault of book club studies, resources, and more, downloadable Audible lessons and workbooks to go with Success Principle Society. And then we have actually twice a month our co-working mastermind calls. And for the sign-up bonuses for you guys, we have incredible opportunity. So for those who are paying in full this month, you're going to get an NLP goal alignment session with me. This is a series of questions where we're actually going to walk you through what is your goal? What is the state of the goal? What has you stuck and what has you stopped? We're actually going to design the goal, get into the state of it. And it is one of my favorite things to do with clients. I'm doing it with somebody right now, and we're only halfway through and they are loving it. And it's like picking and getting deeper and deeper into the nitty-gritty that's actually going to create results. So if you're ready to jump in and pay in full, that is my gift to you. Absolute gift. An NLP goal alignment sessions, the value of at least $1,200. Plus you're going to get 3 months in Success Principle Society and our 3 calls that you get already with it. Now for the rapid breakthrough on the payment plan, You're, of course, getting this 3 months in Success Principle Society, and you're also going to get a bonus 60-minute coaching session with me. So that's a value of $400 for you to be able to use anytime within those 90 days to be able to support you, to help you set yourself up for success. And because we've already gone through the rapid breakthrough in the timeline therapy session, we can clear more beliefs in it. And I'm super excited to be able to do this for you, because if you can release those limiting decisions and limiting beliefs, everything can change for you. I've been doing this with clients for years, and every single one that I've done it with, their life is completely different. And I literally cry tears every time I do it, because I know what is available for you after. And I kid you not, I literally get weepy-eyed every time I'm about to finish the timeline therapy breakthrough, because I know what is available for you on the other side of it. So I want to share this quote from one of our clients, Wendy Ann Jones, who did the rapid breakthrough with us. She said, "When I booked the rapid timeline therapy breakthrough with Heather, I really had no idea what to expect. I really do my best to explain it, and you have to experience it to truly understand it. I didn't know much about NLP or timeline therapy. I felt a bit awkward at first, but Heather soon put me at ease. I remember the whole process of although it felt a little surreal, it's like your body knows what needs to be fixed and kind of takes over, because we're working with the unconscious mind. After my session, I felt super light, as if before I was carrying a weight on my chest and it had been lifted off. Memories, big ones that would normally upset me when I thought of them, didn't have the same effect anymore. And I feel much more in control of my emotions rather than them controlling me. It's helped me move forward with my life and my business with more confidence." And there's some more case studies on there that you're welcome to read. And of course, check it out. Go to ownitempire.com/rapid breakthrough, or just go to ownitempire.com, and it's right there on our page. So guys, my gift to you: goal alignment session when you're signing up and paying in full, and then a bonus 60-minute coaching session for those who are joining on the payment plan. So I love you guys. This is my gift to you. I'm super excited. If you are ready for a transformation, let's do it. And if you're curious, just go to the page, go to the website, book a call. Just book a call and let's just chat. If it's not for you yet, no problem. I only want to work with those people who are ready. And if it is, then let's get that transformation started right now. No longer do your dreams have to be a Sunday. Let's step into it now. And so thank you guys so much for being here. I love, love, love you. And let's come back for tomorrow. Final session, building out that dream schedule. And may you have so much fun today embodying it to become it, because you are capable, worthy, and deserving of all your dreams and more right now. Remember, expect magic and miracles. Stay happy, healthy, wealthy. And what is the best that can happen? We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.